There's a woman in the comments that has left me a question. And her first question says, I asked the guy out. He said yes. We went on a date. He doesn't really text me, but when he sees me, we have really good conversations at our bucket. I don't know what that means. He may be a viewer of my show. I don't know if you're new to this. Hi, I'm Harry Wilmington, and I have a whole book at my website called Texting Like a Boss, 21 Texting Commandments for Your Phone. And so one of the things I talk about extensively on this show for guys is that texting between dates oftentimes kills attraction. And so I don't want to feel like I'm mansplaining to you as a woman, what that is. I'm sure you've had guys in your past that you were texting things that was cool at first, but then over time you start to notice this feeling in you that for whatever reason, it's like he's texting you during the course of the day, when you're out with your girlfriends, when you're at family events, and you start to kind of feel this thing of I don't know why I'm feeling weird about this guy all of a sudden, but I'm suddenly being turned off by him. And a lot of times women don't even understand if that's happening, but as guys, we notice it. We noticed very much the times when we had really high interest in a woman and we wanted to be a guy that played no games and we're honest and wanted to, if she reaches out to me, I'm going to reach back right away. And anytime I feel like texting, I'm going to do it. And we find that we get burnt by that. I don't know how old the guy you're dating is, but we find that when we're texting women nonstop, even when that initially said she was highly attracted to us and she doesn't mind if we text her nonstop, that when we do that, we end up losing the girl. And so I found in my personal dating life that I didn't lose any points more often than not for not texting women as much as I was before. And that's because I learned that in between dates, women oftentimes need a break. So I'm going to tell you what this guy's doing. This guy has probably been burnt in the past by women he over-texted, and he's learned both from me and other various gurus. We talk about this. We talk about how if you take a woman on a date, you show her the best possible time you can on that date. And then at the point that the date is over, you say your goodbyes, had a great time, and then you leave her alone. And that will give her time to miss us. But in the process, for you as a woman, it's going to also cause anxiety. It's going to cause you to wonder, does this guy like me or not? And this is going to sound a little bit dark. This is where we want you to be, because that is, we have learned part of the attraction process for women is that they need to be not totally sure about where the guy stands. They need to have a little bit of mystery thrown in there. And nice guys that do mystery get women. Nice guys that try to be there all the time and tell a woman his every single thought and how he wants all this time typically don't get women. So this guy's being smart. He's playing his hand hey, you know what? I actually have a good time with her, but I'm going to do a better job building up her attraction if I save my conversation with her for dates. Chances are he's not going to be the one to initiate text to you until he's ready to ask for a date. That's something that I preach on here that, again, has worked immensely well for me and for the people that I've coached. So you as the woman, you're like, well, what's going on? That's where you kind of need to be in your attraction process to be more attracted to him. So if this guy were telling me the situation, I'd be like, good job on you, guy. Keep on doing that. Keep on going on dates, showing her a great time, and then waiting 3 or 4 days afterwards to ask her out again. And so, again, you might not be aware that that's something that most women are typically attracted to or need in their process of dating a guy to be more attracted, but that's what we typically do that works best. So that's why he's doing that, So don't hold his feet to the fire. Don't be mad at him. All we care about is this, is he asking you on dates? And when he's on those dates, is he showing you the best time possible and giving you the attention and, telling you how pretty you are and, making out with you all this stuff? If he's doing those things, he still likes you. He's just playing cautious with text, because when we don't play cautious with text, we typically end up losing women. Just putting that out there. She says, sorry, I'm supposed to say Bible study. He came and sat by me with lack of texting. Is he interested? Again, I just went through all that, but don't assume just because he's not texting you that he's not interested. Because all I care, so for your end of things, all you need to worry about is this. When he's texting you, is he asking you on dates? If the answer is yes, then you're good. If he's starting to text you less to the point where he's not asking you out at all, that's when red flags would start to arise. But assuming that he likes you and he knows what he's doing, he will text you or call you when he wants to ask for a date. If he's not doing a bunch of in between, then that's totally fine. And hey, I can tell you from personal experience, many years ago, I had very high interest in a woman, and I was like, you know what? Even though I've been teaching this for X amount of years, everybody's saying that I'm crazy. I'm going to just text her every single day. By the end of the month, no longer interested. And again, if y'all also think from a guy's perspective, if we're texting that much, inevitably we're going to text the wrong thing or say the wrong thing digitally that we didn't mean. And now it's on your phone as permanent record. And that can be more detrimental to your feelings than if it had never been put in a text at all, you know? So these are the things that we as guys have to think about, because we're not trying to over text you to where you lose interest. We don't want to text the wrong thing. And it's easier to do neither of those things if we're not texting you all the time. So then she says, second question. So I decided to ask him to a movie. Oh, you're that person. I was going to answer this during the chat. So this woman asked, I decided to ask him to a movie. Does he view that as a date or hangout? Also, if he liked me, why hasn't he asked me on a second date? I initiated both dates. Okay. So I don't know enough about this guy to really fully give a reasoning as to why he hasn't asked you out. The fact that he's saying yes is very positive. There are some guys that just grow up in a culture where, for whatever reason, they're not taught the ways of being able to ask women out. And let's be real, a lot of guys they don't have the proper training growing up. So they're very much in the realm of like, okay, I don't want to pester a woman or make her feel uncomfortable if what I'm about to ask her is not something she wants. So I'm going to leave it up to the woman to ask us to do all the things, because if she asks me out, then I know that she wants to go, and I don't have to worry about getting a no or feeling like I'm harassing her, you know? And so those are situations where sometimes guys just need to be they need to be told, hey, it's fine to ask me out, you know? So this is a situation, again, you don't just go to him and be like, you know, hey, you need to ask me out next time, blah, blah, blah. Like, if he's saying yes to dates, that's a positive. And admittedly, on the show, I've said, you know, if women are asking you out, fantastic, because if they're chasing you, they can't be replacing you. I do say that, you know? So I would say this, is that if he said yes to the outing, for one, anytime men and women are going out at our age, like, I don't know how old you are, if you're in your 20s or 30s, anything past like 18 or 19, if you're going out on a solo venture with a woman, outside of, you know, if you're in a relationship already and you've already defined other opposite gender situations as just friendships, then I wouldn't count those as dates necessarily. But if you're asking him out to hang out solo, I just assume all those things are dates. Whether you said, hey, are we going on a movie date or not, that's a different situation. But I just, as a guy, assume it's a date. Now, because you said the word hangout, he might assume that it's not a date. And so, again, if you're going to the movies, you're going to be talking to him, sitting next to him, you know, probably being a little flirty with him. At the end of that, you could say, I had a great time. Hey, I'd love to go out on a date some other time. Like, you know, maybe you could plan something for us to do. Like, let him know it's fine for him to plan outings because you are an interested party. You know, some guys, hey, I try to teach guys in here as much as I can about, you got to just know, you got to go in and be confident. Not all guys have grown up in scenarios where they were able to build up that confidence. And then a lot of guys, like, you might be, for example, like the first woman he's ever dated, or you might be one of the few that have actually shown him this level of interest. So, you know, this is where I understand why women get frustrated when they're the ones going to guys and having to do all the moves, because it puts you in your masculine. I don't want you to stay there. Right now, you may feel like you are there, but the goal was to get him to be the one doing these moves. So that may mean you letting him know, hey, guy, but just so you know, I had a great time here. I'd love to go out some other time. Like, you should plan something. Like, let him know it's fine for him to be the one to plan because you're actually cool with wanting to do more dates with him. And then at that point, if it doesn't switch over to him doing more of that stuff, then you may need to find a guy that's like better at that. Because again, I do my part on here just telling guys, clearly this woman is saying they want you to ask them out. If he's not in the mode of doing that, that doesn't necessarily make him a bad guy. And it could just, again, he might have had previous experiences where there was trauma, or he didn't grow up being confident enough to know how to do that, but that's not on you. So if you're highly interested, let him know, hey, you can ask me out more often if you want to. And then if he doesn't do that or doesn't have the gumption to do it, then find somebody else. Could I say something like, it's okay to say something like, it's okay for you to invite me to go and do things? You could phrase it like that. You know, you could try to phrase something like, you know, hey, like, you know, at the end of the next date, like, I had a great time. So you could say to him something like, you know, hey, so what's our next date going to be? Just phrase it like that. Phrase it like, so what's our next date going to be? Boom. Now he knows, oh, you want me to plan some stuff. So you could try doing that, you know? So hopefully some of what I've said has been helpful to you, and keep me posted on this guy in the situation, because I love doing updates on this show. You's a bad boy, but you can't stop, won't stop. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high class man. You a high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high